Hey guys, Slimber here, and today I decided to do another video on PragerU because, I haven't done that before a million fucking times. And, apparently they now think they want to be some sort of like self-help, inspirational fucking channel. And, they had some psychologist, I can't fucking remember his name, but it'll say in the video. They had him on, and basically, he wanted to tell you that it's time to grow up. It's time to grow up, guys. Put down the toys and play with the big boy toys. I, I don't know. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I just fucking just thought of that on the spot. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and watch this video, and yeah, let's get right into this, shall we?
We all know it takes a long time to grow up, not only biologically but psychologically. There's a saying among psychiatrists that it takes 50 years to overcome the first 20. Here's the good news. Unlike other species, we are not restrained by our instincts alone. We are able to learn from our parents, our experiences, and our culture. Here's the bad news. Nobody matures without effort.
Wait, what the fuck did he just say?
Nobody matures without effort. Nobody matures without effort.
Do you mean matures? Is that like an accent thing? I mean, I've lived down south, I've never heard that before. I live up here in Michigan, never heard that before. That's why I'm from Michigan. I lived in New Mexico, did never hear that before. I lived in Kentucky, did never hear it before. I lived in Florida, was this other state down south I lived in. Where would that even be from? I'm pretty sure nobody else pronounces that way. I'm pretty sure this guy doesn't know how to fucking pronounce the word mature. How do you get a PhD if you can't pronounce the word mature? Like, that's a pretty simple fucking thing.
It doesn't happen naturally. It takes a lot of hard work. But what does it mean to be mature?
Mature!
Good question. So let's answer it. I have identified 5 characteristics of maturity. If you work to possess them all, you will have a happier, deeper, and more productive life. 1. Taking control. Of course you had no choice what era you were born in, or where you were born, or who your parents are. But with each year of childhood, you attain more and more capacity to chart your own course. Yes, society and fate play a role, but cultivating your ability and willingness to make your own decisions expands your ability to influence how your life unfolds. The only way to achieve maturity is to take charge of your life.
I mean, I guess in the sense of, if you get opportunities, fucking take the opportunities, and if you don't, that's your fault. I guess, yeah. But if you don't receive the opportunities, how do you really take charge? You know? People don't just be fucking in shitty situations because they want to be in shitty situations.
Nothing empowers you as much as exercising that control. Refusing to act, waiting to be rescued, and seeing yourself as a victim are sure signs of immaturity.
I mean, you're kind of lacking context for us to, answer this, because there could be a lot of fucking context that would add on to the situation. Like, what if somebody legitimately is a victim? This is a little extreme, but what if you've been kidnapped? What other option do you really have other than hoping somebody rescues you? Maybe if you've tried several times to fucking escape or something. Or what if you just have a lot of fucking mental issues? People with mental issues have fucking roadblocks. Basically, the mental issue is a fucking roadblock, which prevents them from, going out on their own and getting help a lot of times. This whole thing lacks context.
2. Taking responsibility. I mean this in 2 ways. The first way is simply to acknowledge that you're responsible for what you do. If you make a mistake, acknowledge it. Don't alibi and don't blame others. This is an easy thing to say, but we all know it's very hard to do. A mature person does it. A mature person takes responsibility.
You're not giving us much context. There's a lot of situations with a lot of different contexts that could, apply. Like, what if it really is somebody else's fault somebody's in a bad situation, What if, I don't know, they had money saved up and they got robbed and all that money's gone, I guess you could say, oh, you should have fucking had it somewhere you couldn't get robbed at. But technically, it's really not their fault because they got robbed. It's the person who robbed them's fault. Or you could say, hey, I'm in medical debt, and something like Medicare for All would have, stopped me from being so deep in medical debt because I had some emergency accident and fucking, I don't know, it costed me, I think, what's an average hospital bill? Like, it costed me $31,000 or whatever that I will never fucking have. And then you could be like, well, you should have been saving. Well, I'm on minimum wage. You should have went to college. I couldn't afford college. You should have done better in high school. Maybe they had shit going on when they were in fucking high school, Like, literally, context is fucking key to literally this, because there could be a lot of fucking situations. If you fucking smash your Xbox controller, okay, then take responsibility. It's your own fault. But I don't know, if you get robbed, then clearly that's not your fault. There's like a lot of fucking context that could be added to help your fucking case, but you clearly don't want to add that. Let me add on, the reason he's not, adding context is because it would water down his argument, because life isn't that fucking black and white.
Second is the willingness to take on obligations and fulfill them. For example, I got married and took on obligations to my wife and children. I have ethical obligations to my patients and my profession, even on days that I might not feel like it. A mature person doesn't see obligations as burdens, but as something he willingly accepts and sees through to fulfillment.
I agree that a mature person would take up responsibilities. There's certain things that people have to do in this world once they're an adult, work, all that shit. But here's the deal. To say that they can't see it as a burden, that's, once again, pretty black and white. I mean, obviously not all situations are going to be seen as a burden by everybody. But certain responsibilities are going to be a fucking burden. If you have a kid and they shit their fucking diaper, do you not see that as a burden when you have to clean it up? If you have a dog and he shits on the floor and you have to clean it up, is that not a burden to you? If some shitty shit happens at work, is that not a burden to you?
3. Containing emotions. I would never suggest that you should ignore your emotions, but you have to learn to contain them. Immature people lash out at their boss or their coworker if something doesn't go their way, or argue with their spouse when they come home, or turn to alcohol or drugs because of a rough day.
Sometimes life gets fucked up, that's why we get fucked up. I can still feel your touch.
I often tell my patients that maturity can be measured by how much anxiety they can tolerate without acting out inappropriately against themselves or others.
Right, but everybody has their breaking point. Sooner or later, if somebody's had enough shit thrown on them, they're gonna lose their fucking shit. And, like I said already a million times before, everybody's got different situations. I have a friend who I work with at work who is very, 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 very bipolar. And when he's manic, he freaks the fuck out sometimes. And some shit goes bad. He freaks the fuck out and he slams shit occasionally. I'm used to it at this point. I really don't give a fuck. But everybody has different situations. And everybody fucking, has their breaking point.
Mature people express their emotions in the right place, at the right time, in the right way. We are emotional beings, but we should never let go of the steering wheel. That is, we need to learn how and when to contain our emotions.
I mean, yeah, we should, but what you miss is that people are not perfect, dude. Like I said, if somebody takes enough shit, they're gonna freak the fuck out. Let's say, I don't know, somebody just saw some really fucked up shit. They just saw somebody get murdered in front of them. I don't know, maybe they've been raped. They're not gonna handle things in your fucking definition of maturity.
4. Having perspective.
Something you've failed to do this entire fucking video.
An immature teenager will regard a pimple as a catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius, or will regard rejection by a girlfriend or boyfriend as the end of the world. Maturity comes from putting disappointments into perspective. The reason we forgive a teenager's overreaction is because we understand it's probably the first time it's happened. But life's disappointments don't stop when you turn 21. Far from it.
Oh fuck, that's not giving me much to look forward to. You didn't see anything.
Disappointments of every variety, great and small, happen throughout life. The mature person learns from them and gets stronger each time he recovers. This kind of mature thinking is best expressed in the famous advice given to King Solomon, "This too shall pass."
I mean, yeah, I guess, mature people learn from bad experiences. But to say they can't negatively react to bad experiences, it kind of sounds like somebody who's never been in those bad experiences, something they would say. If somebody gets evicted from their house, they're not exactly going to be all like, things will get better. They're going to be like, oh my god, I just lost my place to live. Like, it clearly sounds like you've never, ever, 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 ever had much hardship in your fucking life, dude.
Perspective also means that when we are upset with someone dear to us, we have to put that negative experience in the context of the entire relationship. Immature people demonize a friend or a relative they are upset with and forget or ignore all the love and good experiences they once had. Mature people see the whole picture, not only the good and not only the bad. 5. Achieving deep understanding. This takes the concept of empathy to a higher level. Beyond tuning into another's feelings, this is about comprehending the ways in which another's ideas and behaviors make sense to them. You don't have to agree with that person, but you need to be able to get inside their thinking. You need to understand why they believe what they believe. A good way to do this is to repeat what a person has said back to them. Is this what you meant? If they say, yes, it is, then you know, and they know, that you've reached a deeper understanding. This kind of understanding, by the way, is indispensable to achieving true intimacy. It explains why the mature person is able to have more intimate relationships than the immature person ever will.
Can you show us some statistics on that one? Because, gotta admit, a couple of my exes, they've had a lot of relationships, and they weren't anything like this. Hell, I've only had 5. I'm not counting myself as a lot of fucking relationships, like 5 real relationships, not just fucking. But yeah, no, this is. I'd like to see the statistics on this, buddy.
Taking control, taking responsibility, containing your emotions, having perspective, achieving deep understanding. These are 5 characteristics of maturity.
Maturity! Why can't you pronounce it right? Oh, I guess he's not a very good doctor. Maybe if he had learned to pronounce the fucking word maturity, he'd be a better goddamn doctor. Probably fucking not, because those don't really correlate, but still.
Together they can lead you to a deeper and happier life. I'm Dr. Stephen Marmer, psychiatrist, UCLA School of Medicine for Prager University.
Well, I mean, looking through his fucking reviews on, it looks like Health Grade, I guess he sticks up to his fucking, his little philosophy there, because apparently he told some kid who had depression that it was all his fault and threw his hands in the air and blamed him for his own problems. He walked out and said he would try to get him, I guess, inpatient treatment, basically sending him to a mental hospital, and then they never heard from him again. So I guess he's a pretty fucking useless doctor. I'm seeing mostly negative reviews. I see 2 5-star reviews, and I guess they have like ratings for whether they're helpful, and they're all really, really, really fucking far down voted by people. So I think it probably was him writing that or somebody who works for him. He's got a phone number apparently. Should I call it?
Hello, you've reached the offices of Dr. Stephen Marmer and Dr. Elva Ruth Mosqueda. We're not able to take your call at this time. If this is a medical emergency, please hang up and call 911 or go to the nearest emergency room. For prescription refills, please fax your request to or leave your message after the tone. Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Dr. Stephen Marmar. My name's Slimber. I was watching your kind of like self-help video on PragerU, and I was wondering, where are the big booty milfs at? I googled the word mature, and it's not telling me much, but it's showing me a bunch of big booty milfs. Oh, I guess not all of them are big booty milfs, but could you call me back, my guy? Thank you. Okay, bye. I think that went well. Well, guys, I guess that's it. If you have any fucking problems, it's your fucking fault. If you got raped and you have AIDS, guess you shouldn't have been dressing so fucking slutty in that nun outfit, whore. But anyways, leave a dislike, call me a fucking sap in the comments, and yeah, Slimber out.